Welcome to Indie Insights, where we play indie games with one of the developers of that game. On this episode, we'll be playing Automation of Sorts, created by Adam Creations. I am Brandy. On the stick is Dan. We have a couple of ghost gamers, Louie and Maria. So, how are you doing, Adam? How's it going?
I'm doing all right. I'm excited to see everybody play the game. Good to see you guys.
Welcome to Indie Insights, Adam. Thank you for joining us.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Thanks for having me.
So I'm on the stick here. I'll get us started, and hopefully this works since the game isn't inherently multiplayer over the internet, correct, Adam?
Yes, it is using Steam's Remote Play. I intended it for couch co-op, but it works all over Steam as well.
I'll jump right into the main game mode because we all know what we're doing now. Can we play? Yay, I'm moving. Woo! All right, so what is this game?
So this game is a multiplayer co-op game where you're trying to manage a really, really poorly designed facility. It's intended to sort mail and packages, but of course with restrictions, you can't be the person touching that. And everything's automated because that's the future. But we know that nothing works now, so probably in the future, also nothing will work.
Right.
So your job is to keep this stuff running because it does everything that it's supposed to do when it's supposed to. So it ends up being a lot of like time management and trying to sort out your best path and trying to spend the most efficient way that you can, like finding how to get from one place to another, working with others to pass things. Hey, you guys passed the bag across.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we figured that out.
And just trying to keep everything running the best you can.
So, did you used to work for the Postal Service? That's what I want to know.
I did not, and after making this, I never would. I assume that their stuff works better.
Yeah, I would hope so.
I'm probably wrong, but
I don't know.
So in our pre-testing, we learned about the bag, and there was like a lot of yelling and screaming. Like,
pass
just
the bag!
So, I enjoy the yelling and screaming.
Yeah.
As long as it's not my fault from the developer side.
What gave you the inspiration for this game?
I really wanted to just make something multiplayer that didn't require a whole lot of skill, but still like rewarded you for doing okay.
Yeah.
Just going back and forth, trying to balance that a whole lot. So it's always fun playing with family, but like if one person's way better than the other people, then they always win.
Yeah.
So then
this is
co-op
cooperative.
helps that.
Yeah.
But then co-op, a lot of times it ends up being really frustrating and you want to yell at each other, or it ends up being really, really complex inputs and controls to handle like finely minute things and placements and stuff. And I don't know, I don't think that's the challenge. I think the challenge is trying to just manage keeping everything going while you're running around. And, you inevitably have a different idea than somebody else, which leads to some of the complexity, but I wanted something that had extremely easy inputs, really, really simple to do things, but it ends up impacting everything in a large way.
So have you been a developer for a while, or is this just something do you have anything else out there that people can play with?
Nothing else released. I made some web games a long time ago. I started as a composer and, didn't make it anywhere, so I knew that I needed to have more credits. So I'm like, well, let's just make a game. And so then I learned how to make a game and I ended up really liking that. And then I made some stuff and it wasn't great, so I wanted to get better. And then I kept going and it's I made everything.
Oh,
you made the music. Oh, that's awesome. Because that was one of my questions. Because I'm like, it's really cool. It's fun. Like we said, spy music, kind of, almost.
Yeah, so it's totally the goat farmer thing. I went backwards so far that I just make the whole game now. I just ended up really liking it.
Oh, come here.
So this is the first commercially available thing that I've made.
Okay.
Nice.
Safety should be in your top.
Yeah, this makes my OCD brain kind of happy because I'm just like, fix it.
It definitely gives me the vibes of like Overcooked.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Get that chaos.
I really enjoy Overcooked. Overcooked is fun. Some of the placement of things, some of the things that Overcooked does that ended up being like frustrating for like my mother or my 4-year-old are things that like directly went into some of the decisions for this. So like I like Overcooked, but also Overcooked makes you want to throw your controller sometimes, and I was hoping to find some ways around that a little bit.
Oh yeah, there have been some screaming matches in Overcooked for sure.
So I like the game, but I found that we ended up being like angry a lot and failing a lot, and it didn't always feel good if not everybody was good. And
Please do not bring personal items
I don't know.
into the
I want a little more positive reinforcement.
When you find a good role assignment, that's where things go a lot smoother than normal. Because like it already happened with us when we were testing, where it's like, no, I'm gonna go over here. I'm gonna do the mail. Like I'm gonna do the repairing. Like no, you can't just pick one thing. It doesn't work that way.
Yeah, I try to have there always be like one more thing than you could reasonably handle really easily. So like this level is probably the simplest layout of all of them, but because it's split into 3 different areas that don't interconnect, you end up having to choose. Can I take care of this? Oh no, now I'm really far away from this.
Yeah, I feel like we kind of got the sweet spot right now with 3 players because each person is kind of holding their own zone. Whereas if like when testing, Louis was like, I'm just gonna fix things. Like, no, but then you're running all over the place constantly trying to fix things.
Yeah, zone coverage works really well for a lot of these.
And this dang machine keeps breaking as soon as I fix it.
Well, fix it better.
I'm curious, like these guys, is just whacking things with a wrench the best way to be fixing these machines?
It's fast.
I mean,
it is fast, but then they break immediately again. I'm picturing like Jeremy Clarkson in Top Gear just whacking the engine with a hammer. Like, there, I've mended it.
It works sometimes. You just kick it and it works, right?
Kick the jukebox.
That's how we all fixed stuff when we were younger.
Yeah, blowing it.
Oh yeah, legendary.
Blowing the
Is that how
cartridge.
good
Totally
you did?
fixed it. Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah,
Crushed
so
it then.
the comments and grades at the end are sort of obscuring a grading system. Like I used to do like S and A plus and C and D and stuff, and it ended up just not being super encouraging most of the time. Because like you're probably gonna do lousy the first couple of times through some things. And I don't know, getting a D grade is never really fun. It doesn't really make you want to play more. But being like, you did all right. I'm like, all right, I did all right.
Yeah,
So,
I'd rather hear good job than D.
Yeah, like we know like C is supposed to be average, but like C doesn't feel good.
No. I like Legendary. Legendary's nice.
Keep it positive. To go back on the
Legendary
music,
is somewhere on A plus. Yeah, go for it.
Oh, but like when we were listening to it before, I was like, this kind of reminds me of like the theme song to The Incredibles. And I'm wondering if that was maybe part of the influence.
I'm sure it was. I'm sure there's some of that. I always got a little bit of Team Fortress 2 vibes for parts of it.
Fair.
I wanted something that was a little jazzier, but still semi-futuristic. And I really like electronic things, but I like acoustic instruments. And I play brass, so it's easier for me to have more brass things in pieces.
Kind of makes it
So
feel
it
a little
just naturally
classy.
led to this over time.
All right, this might
I've
get
never
weird.
heard classy for things that I've made, so I like that.
It's the brass. It's the brass thing that makes it feel classy to me. All right, we've not played this level, so this is probably going to get a little hectic.
Chaotic.
Oh, good.
I'm like, okay, how do I get to the mailbag? Oh, I didn't fix
The
the
stairs at the top. So you go around the back of the machine, you can get to everything.
It's the perspective is throwing me off. Hi, Arcade. I knew that was going to happen. Our dog wants to chime in.
He
On the
always
plus
has
side,
to
you
chime
can
in.
fix from the back. You can drop the envelopes in from the back.
Please do not bring personal items into the
Ah.
sorting facilities. There's a
Please
chance
do not
You're
bring
giving us
personal items.
you're giving us those top tips right there because I wouldn't have figured that out.
I try to make the collision areas as big as reasonably possible, which leads to some little things like that.
Remember, safety should be in your top 3 priorities.
Oh, and the woman talking, like that's a fun feature I like, and I'm curious where that came from.
Oh, good. That's my wife.
Oh, nice.
So she's the only outside contracting that I did for the game. I turned to my wife and was like, "Hey,
Schedule all
I need like a human resources person to be giving semi-advice and horrible corporate things.
Corporate speak.
Can you give me like your most like the lady that you want to punch in the face voice?"
Yes. Perfect.
And so she's like, "Oh yeah, I can do that. It sounds like this." I'm like, "That's it. Do that."
That's it.
The
So I just typed
announcements
a
at
whole
the airport. That's what it is.
Yep. So just typed a whole bunch of lines
You're
for her,
parked in the
and
red
we
zone.
went back and forth. Some of them, like I ended up recording most of the dialogue first, and then going back and replacing with her. So hopefully I've deleted all those files so nobody ever finds them.
Oh, you should add them as like a bonus like mode or something where you unlock the tracks of your original dialogue.
Your shift is almost over.
Oh, it'd be awful.
Even better.
So yeah, that was my wife. She had a lot of fun with it. I would write lines and then we were on a shared document. So she'd go back and she'd end up editing the lines and adding things and going back and forth. And we just ended up recording like 100-something lines for those little call-outs.
Louis Clutch.
And then we just synced them all with
thanks, I guess.
different parts of the
we did bad.
playback.
There's your D.
Yeah.
Buddy.
I'm wondering why was there ever a notion of like a pay scale? Like you got paid X amount of dollars for this level of work that you did?
Yeah.
I used to just do like keeping track of a specific number score that you did with each level and trying to like raise all of them, like so that you had the equivalent of like 3 stars on all of them. But I don't know, for so much of the game, it ends up looking so sad with all these horrible grades until you get there.
So many grades.
I will give you $20.
Somewhere, but it's hidden. I just wanted people to pick a level and play. I felt like all those other things were just adding stresses that didn't help. If the goal is to have people sit on a couch and play together and struggle through trying to figure out how to get the stuff to work,
Due to our lower cost of
the other stuff ended up complicating things past it.
Yeah, like I'm looking forward to actually playing this game.
Oh, good.
Like, how do you get the mail over here? Can you pass it over
Like
here?
I'm sitting here, like telling people, like, okay, you gotta go here, you gotta go here. I need to just play the game.
She hasn't actually played yet. It's only been like yelling at me over my shoulder, like, do this, do this.
Yeah, pretty much.
So this game works really well for the armchair sitter on the side, who like the side seat driver, who really knows what they're doing. They're like, well, obviously you should be doing this thing.
I don't know what I'm doing, but
Clearly.
it'd be fun to try.
So passing bags across the belt will help for the stuff that's on the right. Otherwise, the only access is running all the way around the back of the level.
Remember, safety should be in your top 3 priorities.
But it looks like there's 2 bag hoppers, but that's not as effective if you use both, right? Or like they're only putting bags in one hopper right now instead of both of them.
Right, so you should be trying to get some bags over on the one on the right, over where the person dressed in white is.
Or else we're only gonna get the things, I guess, ranking. I just fixed it.
So one thing I wanted to mention was if you play in like single player mode, you get like a portal. Like you can port yourself across to try and get some of these levels.
Yes, so you get a teleporter, so you end up just managing like where your 2 locations are as you're running around. So like usually for me, like right in the beginning of the level, I will go and like place my teleporter where I want it to be. And for the people listening who haven't seen it, every time you teleport, it changes the next teleporter point to where you just were, so you can skip back and forth to your last location. So it makes some of these things that would be impossible with traversing all the way around the level, really
with
doable,
one person.
manageable.
Right.
So you designed all this yourself?
Yeah, I did everything.
Okay.
It was lots of drawing on paper and then testing and lots of modeling. So I had to learn how to 3D model for this, and then I had to learn how to do decent texturing.
So are you self-taught?
Yeah.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah,
like,
it's
I'm like looking at this, I'm like, I have
thing.
no idea like how you would even do that.
Like the pinnacle of indie dev right there.
Yeah, I know, right?
But I didn't have any budget, so if there's anything that I needed, then I needed to make it.
Yep. So what were some of the challenges you faced, like making this?
I definitely had trouble with some of the early 3D things and with animating characters. Weight painting 3D models for armatures and stuff is awful. I know why people get paid a lot to do that. And then ends up just trying to integrate a lot of the systems, making them commingle and work together ends up difficult. There's lots of physics going on, which means that lots of things can go wrong with it. All the envelopes are run by physics, so that like when you have them all bunch up and then fix something, they can go launching out and flying over places and stuff. But that also means that in development there were just horrible things happening with things flying all over the place. until I got all that kind of clamped down how I wanted things to go. The biggest challenge, development-wise, is that sometimes, like when you're running the preview of the game, unbelievable.
Right.
So when you're running like the preview of the game, and then you go and like you actually package it and build it, things will be different than everything that you just tested. So you go back, you're like, what in the world? So going over some of those things, the usual stuff like marketing and network and stuff like that, those are all difficult.
Yeah, I can imagine. Well, this is what we're here for, to kind of help you guys market and get the word out.
I'm not fixing it.
You're not fixing it?
I wasn't fixing it. I'm like, where's the hopper? Where is it? It's funny that the perspective is almost as much of a puzzle as anything else.
Remember, safety should be in your top priorities.
It was difficult making 3D levels that could be played with a completely stationary camera. And so, like, you know, you'd think, all right, a top-down is totally the way to go. And then you test it, and you're like, oh my gosh, this is not the way to go. And you're like, all right, let's lower it down. And you're like, oh well, I can judge my distance here, but like, oh no, now I can figure this out. But like every level has a slightly different angle to try to show every path, show the verticality of things.
Yeah, that's
so
definitely a different
should just put
perspective.
it on like a flat level. But.
Well, this is interesting. Like it's just a little bit different, and it's just trying to figure out, okay, how do I run this way and get through that obstacle?
Yeah. Well, it took me a second because like the path kind of goes down and then up again, and like my brain wasn't like perceiving the depth for a second. Is there any other influences for like the design in this game? Like for me, obviously I mentioned Overcooked. Like that was a quick thing that I thought of, but I'm wondering if there's anything else that influenced you.
I'm not sure about external influences for it. A lot of it was more like design based. Like I wanted the characters to stand out a little bit more from the other stuff, so they're cel shaded. And then, like, when they go behind things, you can still see the outline of where they are. So, like, key elements that you really pay attention to are simple, but then things that are more background and scenery are more complex and have more shading and texturing and stuff. And then, just like, you know, bright glowing things when you need to pay attention to things.
Yeah, look here.
Dark, not glowing things when it's just part of the level.
So what are some of the things you enjoyed most about doing this project?
I really like just building the levels and the areas and the worlds. It's really fun, like just making spaces to run around and play in. It's neat when like things finally come together and you look, you're like, holy crap, I just made a level. And,
wait,
hey, it actually works.
What just happened to Louis? What happened to Louis?
Oh no.
He's like off He's like flying around the level. I'm like, where did Louis go? And then I saw him at the top of the level and he was like, woo!
All of your work prior to clocking out.
Yeah, I saw you go flying. I don't know how you did that. That's cool. I love seeing new bugs that, like, I've played this level, 8,000 times. I don't know how you did that. I'm gonna have to play this some more and figure it out.
Again, what we are here for.
Bug report. How hard is that to overcome, like, bugs like that?
It's really difficult. Hey, you didn't need him. It's really difficult as a solo developer. They don't have lots of resources for like other people to find stuff. So like my biggest testers were my kids. So like, 4-year-old, an 8-year-old, and a 10-year-old are fantastic at playing the game and stuff, and like they will absolutely break it. So they definitely found things for me to fix. But
that doesn't work.
There's only so
Leave
much
it to Louis.
You find.
I was trying to put it on the conveyor belt and let the conveyor belt take the box for me. It didn't work.
Yeah. So that originally was a plan, except all of a sudden there would be like cases where the box would like run into things along the path or something, and ended up causing lots of problems. So I just pretend that like those glass sides there are holding the box up, and
I'm seeing now like the envelopes are all bunching up together because I had to fix that machine. I was like, oh no.
Yep. And luckily that one has kind of a long run out the sides. Like if they build up too much and then you fix something, they'll just burst out the sides and launch out. They can launch over the level.
I want to make that happen now. I'm gonna let that stay broken. Okay?
It'll happen.
Like, don't worry about it. It'll
I want
happen.
it to break.
Everything.
Stuff like that is really like part of like
Please do not
why
bring
you like
personal
having the
items
physics stuff in
into
there
the
to see the things go
Mhm.
flying and
There's a chance your lunch
see like the
is
random chance and stuff.
and sent to another location.
So things that I liked about making, I like building the levels. I like seeing people, really laugh and smile when they're actually playing it. Because like the whole time you're making stuff and you're building, you're like, yeah, I think this will be fun. And you play, you're like, yeah, I think this will be fun. I think people will get it. I don't know. And then like you finally have like a room of people and they're all playing it. And then after a little bit, like you see that they're laughing and they're smiling, like, no, you have to do it this way. And they're like giving each other advice.
Mm-hmm.
And they're like, no, do another level. And they go back in, and you're like, oh my gosh, they're like choosing to play this, and they keep going, and I did it right, I guess.
Yeah,
So
that's
the-
going to be
the
really
satisfaction-
fulfilling. Yeah.
Yeah, the satisfaction that like the thing you thought was gonna work, it did. Sure.
Yes.
Oh, look at that teamwork.
Getting there. Yeah. We aren't failing because we're actually using teamwork somehow.
Somehow.
It's unusual for us, so. I mean,
Well,
normally
yeah.
it's just screaming like, "You're the great thing." I'm mocking Louis right now, by the way.
that or we're like playing a game that we just like beat each other up, and that's not very nice.
Time to increase production.
Funny. It's not very nice though.
Blue boxes, lots of blue boxes. Yeah, yeet.
Yeet.
I just whipped it over the conveyor belt like a pro. Can I throw it? I want to yeet.
A little bit.
I got these are bunching up. I better fix that.
Uh-oh. Guess you
Time's up.
better.
Hey, legendary.
Still
We're
did it.
apparently too good.
That's it.
I'm waiting for you to
That's
like.
exactly
you
what it
wait.
is.
Oh, it's about to get real, huh?
We've introduced the 45-degree angle now.
Oh no. What are all the spinning things? What's that gonna do?
Nothing. They just look pretty.
Oh, okay.
Blue box.
I'm like, I'm just hoping they just like whip the envelopes out.
Start whipping them.
Schedule all breaks for when we are not.
Projectiles.
I'm a little sad I can't hear more of the voice because I actually love that dialogue, the
Mhm.
corporate speak. Oh,
I'm glad
boy.
you enjoy it.
There you go.
My wife will be very happy.
It's good. I think it's really
The owner of the
funny.
gray self-driving car. Please tell it to stop.
Self-driving car. I heard that part.
The owner of the
Red
gray
box.
self-driving car, please tell it to stop intimidating the other vehicles.
That's
great.
good.
Did you write that?
Yeah.
Nice.
Well, I'm claiming credit. My wife may have written that line. I think I wrote it.
Maybe. Wow,
One
I
of
just
us did. I wrote most of the
bashed
lines.
the
We can
face
check
of that
back
box.
The really good lines were probably her.
He's probably like, I made that on the spot. Like, oh, I gotta fix it.
Let's give 110% effort for 85% pay due to our lower
Red box.
cost.
110% for 85% pay.
These are our lower
What I
cost of
feel
living. Yep. That's how most regular jobs go, I think.
Yeah. Oh, I know.
Right? That's where we were
So-
like, I wonder if you've worked like a bad job at the post office to influence this.
No, I probably would have had. This probably would have been more of a hellscape if I had.
It would have been a
Yeah.
lot darker.
Yeah. Nightmare fuel.
The best setting I could think of where like people could like work together to manage something, but having a lot
Mm-hmm.
of stuff happening around them. Like that your inputs are simple, but the stuff around you happening stays, pretty complex and detailed. And I successfully did get, my mother to play the game. And
I mean,
she
that's
did it.
great. Yeah.
So it worked.
Well, that's what I like about it. It's like something that all ages can do. Like it's not like specific to, a short range of
Complete all
people.
of your work prior to clocking out.
I almost want to say
I
we're
love
playing
skill-based
too
games.
good, but at the same, I want us to be doing worse so that more chaos is happening. But at the same time, I'm just like, I'm loving
You're in it.
I have the need to be good, and like I feel compelled to like be on point with everything. Yeah,
You brought
like,
up
I'm
like,
loving-
like OCD earlier, and
Mhm.
like I always want to like fix like that one more thing, and like I can't have one of those flashing red circles, even if it's in a place where there's nothing there. It doesn't matter if I fix it right now or not. I still want to fix it. It should be fixed.
We need to fix things. So how long did it take you to create this?
Way longer than I intended. Probably like the start to release ended up being like 4 years apart, but it's kind of off and on in the middle. I'd been making like 2D stuff before, and I was transitioning to 3D and really wanted to learn Unreal better and learn 3D and stuff. So I didn't want to start with a huge, gigantic game or something. Like, all right, let's make something small that I can get done quickly, which is, just the age-old joke that that's impossible. There is no something. There's never something small. It never goes quickly. So what ended up being a small project that I was for sure going to get done in like a year, maybe a year and a half or something, just ended up ballooning out and taking longer and longer and longer and longer.
Sounds about right.
And I could probably still work on it forever, but at some point, it's done.
That's not gonna work.
Oh, good. You followed the yellow.
Remember,
It doesn't help you for that, for the blue box, but
It doesn't, but I thought it would get me there. Yeah. Oh no. There we go. Okay, Louis was able to take the box. I got another blue box.
Bling!
Blue box. Blue box. I'm just waiting. Like if we had like
teamwork.
open chat right now, it would turn into Overcooked, where we're just yelling things at each other.
Yeah.
so the yellow will help you get to that reverser section.
Broken.
So those
Fix
ones with the
it.
red arrows are particularly evil. So if you follow the track, it's actually sending them back to the beginning of the level to be resorted.
Oh no.
Oh no.
I wasn't even aware. I was unaware.
Yeah, so the split tracks, they set you back a lot.
Okay, gotta fix this. Fix.
Hurry.
Most.
It's 69 seconds.
I know. Just...
Look at all that blue mail. It's piling up over here.
You'll find as things go along, like earlier in the level, it makes more sense to start getting the envelopes flowing, start working on things towards the beginning of the level. But like in the last 10 or 15 seconds, maybe it's best to just skip the hopper altogether, because those envelopes will make it anyways. And prioritizing what you're doing based on how far you are through the level. And always get the green dots.
Okay, you gotta have that extra time so you can keep sorting, keep working.
Keep going. Oh, I just saw a bunch of envelopes fly.
Yay! I mean, no,
Hooray!
yay!
No, but yay.
The time extender ended up being a fun challenge for the music, because it's not just a single loop.
Oh, yeah.
The music changes based on how far you are through the level. Like it starts out really simple and it gets more complex and stuff, but it also switches to kind of dark sounding when you're failing. And at the end of the level, it speeds up, like right now.
Get that
So
like
it's a
whole bunch
Sonic
of
dying
sections.
music.
Yeah.
Yeah.
A whole bunch of sections pieced together, and I end up having to have it adjust to how long you have left in the level. Keep going, because I can't just loop, because it also has to, end at a certain point and stuff. It ended up being a fun challenge to fix.
Maria's chicken.
I always find it impressive too when like people write their own music and the music is just a jam.
Yeah.
Unrivaled.
Wow.
Yeah.
It is.
Yeah, I
it
felt
is
pretty
very
good.
zen.
Every time I picked up a box and I whipped it across the conveyor belt and you were right there to catch it and like throw it in the bin.
Those are nice moments.
How
Mhm.
how many levels are there in total?
15, 16, 18? I
Okay.
don't remember. I have to look at the screen again. I think it's 18.
Oh, okay. There's a rising floor on this
Oh
one now.
my gosh. Okay. That's
Depending on how you
gonna
Oh
be
no, the
chaos.
time bubble.
At the end of this level, you'll probably unlock the last row of levels.
Okay.
There's a countdown for
Hey, there we
how
go.
many envelopes you sort.
Yeah, I saw the lock. That's why I was wondering, like, okay, what's down there? Like, how many more levels are there?
Just one more row.
Okay.
Oh, nice eat. Nice eat.
Oh, nice.
Good throw.
Grab that time bubble. Oh no, the mail.
This one,
It's gonna
this
explode.
one in particular with single player ends up being interesting with the teleporter.
Oh yeah.
Because, a section of the level is completely inaccessible until it lowers down, unless you have a teleporter there. So that staircase in the bottom there. Oh, you got it anyways. Never mind. You did it.
You got it. I was wondering about the difficulty, if it scales at all with more players.
Please schedule
Yes.
all breaks for
Ah,
when
good.
we are not
It adjusts how many things break per break cycle
Mm.
for however many people are playing.
Ah,
So yeah,
no.
single player, you won't have not as many things will break all at once. 4-player, it's a lot of things breaking simultaneously.
Constant.
it's
Huh?
yeah, they're all kind of tuned
Oh, no.
manually because like it's different for every level, like exactly how much stuff happens. There's lots of just playing and going back and forth. And hey, does that feel about right, or does that feel like it is just killing you? Like, oh, it feels too easy right now. All right, let's add possibility of one more thing.
Oh no. Look at those. I got it.
Yeah.
All the mail. Look at all the mail. Yeah. This is very zen though. Like the fact that we're as quiet as we are right now, we're all
Yeah.
just kind of like super zoned out. Like yeah.
So I said my OCD brain is happy just watching this.
Oh, good.
Like watching one of those satisfaction videos, like the
Yeah.
OCD like pleasing videos, watching things get like squished or something.
Louis, why are you spinning in circles?
Oh no!
oh no.
Why do you always break things, Louis?
I'm just watching Louis just spin in circles.
no matter what.
Cursed physics bags.
Ah,
Okay.
we got this.
So
They
somebody
shouldn't
needs to
fly
fix
off the
the
level.
fan on the bottom right, it looks like.
Uh-oh.
The fan tube over there.
Oh, no,
There's
look
a
at that.
massive pile up.
Oh,
Let's watch it explode.
bring out
You
the
gonna send you
chaos.
flying, Louis? Mm-hmm.
Aw, great work.
Yeah.
Great work.
Great work, team. Oh yeah, it does
There,
look
you
like
have,
we
you have the
opened.
bottom row. So 6, 18. They're a double-sided sword for the
Oh,
developer.
glitches.
Right,
Oh, this is-
right. Because as the developer,
fun,
you're
it's
like,
like,
I
oh,
have
that-
to fix it.
Yeah, you think it affects OCD just playing it.
Oh, yeah.
Try making it.
I can
like,
only
where do
imagine.
Where do I go? Trying to figure out like what part of the level I can get to and why or where I should be.
Mhm.
Fix that.
I love listening to them be so quiet because it's not usual.
It's very uncommon.
It's very not normal.
Glad beating on machines with wrenches has captivated them. When you boil it down, it ends up just being whack-a-mole
Boing,
with
boing,
lots of
boing.
running and grabbing and
Ah,
Remember,
Feeding on
No.
stuff.
in your top 3
feeding on things.
priorities.
this game's only available on Steam, right?
Yes. It's only on Steam right now. Love to get on more platforms.
Let's
PC-wise, I've kept it on Steam just because pandemic-wise, local co-op
is
is still difficult for people.
Mm.
I can
And
see this on Switch being really good.
So
I would
Steam
love to.
Steam has the only option for like the multiplayer kind of thing.
for remote play. Otherwise, I'd have
Gotcha.
to like actually build in legitimate online multiplayer, which is
Mm,
far beyond the scope of what I can do by myself.
right. That's understandable.
So I could do it if I made half the game.
Ah. Oh. What
So it's
what
one
would
or
it
the other,
take
and
for you to
Steam
maybe
kinda
like
fixes that.
hire on like a coder or somebody that would be able to implement that for you?
So do you think that's
Or is that
so
going
do you
too
think
deep?
that's yeah? Do you think
No,
that's
that's
why
fine.
a lot of indie developers like choose Steam? Probably.
Steam is still one of the bigger markets for PC, anyways. And for good or bad,
Oh.
they don't really turn you away that much. So it's much more difficult to get on Switch or to get on Xbox or get
Yeah.
on PlayStation. Just about anybody can get something on Steam. It's a relatively low cost for
Right.
developing for it and stuff. And they do have a lot of good features. The downside is that, everybody releases on Steam, so
Yeah.
Most of us
the
never get seen.
discoverability has got to be really hard.
it is. Yeah,
Again,
part of it
what we're
is
here for.
most difficult. Yay!
Yeah, that's
I
part
would-
of
I
why
would
we
love
do
to put it on
this.
consoles. I kind of intended it for consoles initially until I just never
Aw.
was able to get a publisher and was never able to get development kits.
Yeah.
But for some reason, they won't give development kits to people without any kind of history.
Yeah, I mean,
one way.
that's gotta make it really, really difficult for any indie gamers to get on consoles.
Well, I know there was like
Hey.
back when there was an issue with PlayStation, like making it really difficult for indie game devs to get featured on the storefront. And I think PlayStation has since kind of fixed that or made it a little better. But I know there was a
Hey,
lot
you
of
did the back thing again.
There's a chance your lunch
struggle.
could be served
Hey, got the
at
glitch.
other locations.
Hey, good job, Louis.
Good job. Good job for breaking the game.
So I've heard,
Please schedule
so I've
Where's
heard
the
about
blue?
PlayStation Store. Unfortunately, I don't have anything on the PlayStation Store, so I don't have a lot of experience with it.
Hmm.
I don't know. Yeah, I would love to put it on consoles. If I ever find a publisher that wants to, then I will. But
Maybe. Hopefully we can help.
Nintendo and Microsoft and them don't really
due to our lower cost of living.
like people like me self-publishing and handling everything.
I mean, there's so much shovelware getting out on the Switch nowadays that it's like I find that so hard to believe. I'm saying
Yeah.
I'm not saying you're wrong. I believe you absolutely, but there's so much shovelware on the Switch. It's insane.
Yeah, that makes it more disheartening.
Yeah.
Because, like, they said yes to all those. They
Yeah.
said no to me.
Yeah, that's sad, honestly. Where is it?
Something's
turn on the-
flashing yellow. That's probably
Everything is
not good.
flashing.
Yeah, there's lightning.
It's the mail bag. I think he's telling me to put the mail in there.
Yeah,
Yep.
it's saying you left me out.
There's
Yep.
mail.
Put me in
nope,
here.
I missed the hopper.
That other hopper's feeling
My
left
brain
out.
is too focused. I was going to try and mention too, like some of the garbage that I've seen on the Nintendo storefront. Like, how is this getting approved? Like, how is this making it onto the storefront for Switch?
My guess
I
is
know.
just that they have a publisher, and if there's a publisher, they say yes, as far as I can
Right.
tell.
The blue hopper's in the middle right there. There's flashing now,
So-
Maria. You have to
So
come
the
down
blue
around
one
this way.
kinda go
There you
down,
go.
follow
You went
yellow
past
arrows
it.
around.
Yeah.
You just went past it. You're right there. You're on it. If you didn't put it down, you would have had it. I didn't even know you could go this way
She's
until
like,
you
"I'm
went
out."
that way.
I actually didn't know you could go that way either.
We're learning things.
Yay!
How do you get to that middle part?
So that
there's-
one you have to go from the left side, kind of counterclockwise, to go up those stairs. So green can probably get to the middle section if they go down,
Okay.
and then go up the flight of stairs.
Still on fire.
Aha. Okay.
Again, I'm almost like I feel like I wish we were doing worse to get more chaos, but we're all so focused that we can't fail. We can't do a bad job.
I had a
It has
really
to be
hard
good
time just sitting still and letting things break so I could test when things were broken.
Oh
Mhm.
yeah.
I felt compelled to fix it myself.
Yeah, especially if you're self-testing, like you gotta let things go wrong, right?
Yes.
Ooh.
I think one of the most fun bugs I had was I paused the game and then I left and did something for an hour or two, and then I came back. Apparently, like everything stopped moving, but all of the spawning of objects stayed on.
Oh,
So I turned it on, and it was just 50,000 envelopes just exploded everywhere. There are boxes everywhere. There's
Oh my
just
God.
stuff everywhere. It just
Okay.
it absolutely exploded.
Hurry up.
I don't know why, but these blue and white envelopes are going everywhere.
Oh yeah, they are.
What happened? Pick them up, fix it.
They bunched up too much before that. Pushed each other off. So, yeah, realizing that pausing completely broke the game. Something I never thought about. I'm like, everything stopped. You know, I stopped like the time. I stopped everything, but I didn't stop things being spawned.
And when the game is paused.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
It also kept
Oh,
like
bye,
a
Louis.
buffer of how much.
Bye,
It
Louis.
kept a buffer of how much things should break. That's amazing.
There goes Louie
There
again.
he goes. There he goes. Again. Oh, there you go. There you go.
Hey, you went up the
Hey.
window.
Crushed it,
Unbelievable.
though.
Okay, so you want to break it down. So what's your experience playing the game, Dan? How do you feel about it?
Oh, it's super fun. Like I said, it's like you get kind of like just zoned in and like you're so hyper focused on what's going on. And I can say like when we were testing the game, we were just yelling and screaming at each other the whole time. But like for the sake of this recording, we were like, we can't be doing that. So let's keep the screaming to a minimum. But thank you, Maria and Louis, on the back end there, playing and keeping relatively quiet for the most part. But I look forward to actually playing this game more after this recording so that we can have that like getting back and forth and like yelling at each other. Like I want to make it harder almost. Like I want it to be more chaos.
Well, you and I can play like co-op, like on the couch.
I'm
awesome.
sad too to hear that it's not that easy for you to get it onto like Switch or something, Adam, because I feel like that would be a perfect place for it.
I would love to. That would be the ideal situations to get it on consoles.
Well, let's get the word out. So where can people find you? Obviously, just Steam. How can they support the project?
Talking about them and following them. Follow me on Twitter, Adam_creations. I do lots of stuff. I make games, I make art, I make music, and
awesome. Just
talking about them and saying, "Hey, I like it." Showing things to friends and stuff. That stuff means more than nearly anything else.
Mm-hmm.
Letting other people know and sharing.
So you're working on anything right now? Like, do you have any plans for the future?
Yes, I have another game. A lot of the things that I made for this game were intended to kind of teach myself how to build things that I would want in the next game. It'll be a little more adventure focused and stuff, but so it'll be a single player adventure game. So not as much chaos, perhaps.
Maybe not.
Can you give a hint to like maybe the style of that game?
Yeah, so it'll be a little more, fantasy styled. I guess not that far off of like Zelda-ish, but closer to top-down style.
Nice.
Still 3D, still Unreal. But I really like the idea of. Yeah, I see that. I really like the idea of like it's like some peaceful things in games. Like I like violence and stuff. It's fun, but there are other ways to interact. So like I like the idea of an adventure game where maybe you're not playing as the hero with a sword.
I mean, Brandy maybe you're appreciates a good chill game.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, it'll be a game where you play the mail carrier, running around in like a fantasy world, still having to solve all the problems and stuff. But you're not the person with the sword.
So, what advice do you have for other developers that are just starting out or want to get into development?
Try not to get too discouraged. But
yeah,
it's an uphill battle the whole way. But spending lots of time on developing like individual skills will pay off in dividends by the end. So, like if you don't make music for your game, if you learn more about music, you'll do a better job implementing it. If you learn more art, even if you're just like primarily coding and stuff, but if you learn more about art, you'll find better ways to implement things. And if you're making all this stuff yourself, you better learn those things anyways, otherwise you don't have it. So just take the time to do the self-development so that when you do the game development, things will be a lot more fun, a lot less frustrating. And just share with your friends. Have fun with it.
And it's got to be a great feeling when people just really take to it.
It's really fun. You almost feel like an imposter, like making something that and like other people are like enjoying. You're like, no, but is it real? Yeah, it's totally real.
Are you just being nice? No, I totally get that too. Like the imposter syndrome. We're having fun with it, though.
Yes, for sure.
Well, good. Thank you guys so much.
Yeah, thank you.
To all the indie developers out there, we want to play your game. If you're a developer working on a game, mod, or anything in between, let us know and keep making those incredible indie games.
Thank you again, Adam.
Thank you.
You know what? Okay, I have to admit, the thanks I guessed, that passive aggressiveness, that got me. That would actually hurt. I was a little, are you serious? I was working hard, okay? I guess.